This is another MyView TV exclusive. Please remember to hit the notification bell, like, share, and subscribe.
I don't bring nobody forward in here to cheer for me. Everything what you see up, my natural talent. Let me tell you something. You see, when you know what to please the audience with, it's simple, me.
Wagwan, my people. Hope everybody doing okay. Hope everybody doing alright. People nobody make them blind side, you know. Remember me come and me tell you that every day. Election must around the corner, you know. You notice that both the government and the opposition come out and chat about nonsense. Make it look like, say, them been doing work. No. Them been sleeping. But all on a bit I soon reach you, so. Because I remember me couldn't promise, say, I go and start the news at St. Catherine. And some people say, lie, I tell my view. You know, no more news at St. Catherine. Start make up news to get views. I say, hold on a bit. Me not tell lie. Maybe make a little one mistake every now and again. But that is accepted because I am not perfect. Anyways, make I start the news. The St. Catherine North Police seized 2 illegal guns in the last 24 hours during operation targeting areas controlled by Klansman and one other gang in Spanish Town. Yes, people, one other gang still about. It's just that me here say, for them crime more organized. You understand that them have the bag of pipe leak like in a Klansman. Anyway, and that I come to talk about. Deputy Superintendent Linford Edwards, head of operation of the St. Catherine North Police, said the cops seized a semi-automatic pistol with 13 rounds during an operation in Madrid Avenue, an area controlled by one other gang. At about 7:30 Sunday morning, the police accosted a man in the area and he reportedly ran, leaving the weapon. People, me never make no mistake. Me can read it again and make on the area me say. The police accosted a man in the area and he reportedly ran, leaving the weapon. Big idiot police. They must slap on the slap a boy when they just gonna pick up weapon. And the operation was conducted in Jones Avenue, controlled by Black Man fraction of the Klansman gang. They know say them name the One Dan gang. Yes, people. And them they are quarterback for them life. But anyway, make I continue. A 16-year-old boy who is allegedly involved in a robbery and extortion was arrested. At about 9:40 Monday morning, a snap raid was conducted on Mansfield Avenue in Homestead, where the one other criminal network is said to operate. A man was accosted at the premises, ran, leaving a Glock 9mm pistol with 12 9mm round cartridges. Make I tell you something, the police them a waste of time. Me now stop saying the police them a waste of time. Hold on, you know, I can go over St. Thomas before I could listen to some lunatic. The police on November 10 arrest and charge a St. Thomas man after he allegedly robbed 2 men at gunpoint. There is nowhere named gunpoint. So nobody not say, oh, the police them have a little post out of gunpoint so them can't hold people, them a rob people out there. No one name so. Okay, people. 21-year-old Brandon Hofield has been charged with robbery, aggravation, and illegal possession of firearm. The police said that Hofield and another man held 2 other men at gunpoint at about 5:45 p.m. after meeting them to purchase an iPhone 11 cell phone. Upon the approach of the police team, the robbers ran and Hofield was held with the phone and subsequently arrested and charged. I slap when you get the chance to slap with this boy and slap to me. Let me show you say, both the police and the government, them nonsense. People, just listen to me for a second. When me say nonsense, me not gonna stop call it out. You understand? Because them a drop Zozo and them a drop curfew and them a tell criminal which part them a gonna. Okay, since you not tell criminal which part you not there, make way up with criminal them then. You understand? Criminal and them way to Tivoli Garden, but right out of the damn town police station, one big checkpoint there. All them need for doing is drive the other way. So you understand? So them friend go some up on the bike and come scoop out and see say, under there, them go say call and say, here, the little checkpoint there, right there, so. Drive one another way. Cause none around there, so. So you know, see say, I saw the gun them a come out of the community. Idiot government. You don't see that. You don't see that. The time you there, they are telling no criminal friend them say, here, right, so we are drop the Zozo. Those are the 3 points. So take the guns them uptown, Narbrook and Cherrigan, which part on the live, go and go rest them up there, cause no checkpoint now up there, so, and nobody now come fast with nobody. Or they notice say, at the same place, them put these sleeping operation zone, time after time, all them expect for catch criminals. The criminal them know them like a book. Anyway now, people, listen them alone at the now.
It is one thing to commit the ultimate act of a murder, but when you start to see a devolution into what can only be described as the ultimate barbarity, savagery, a competition for cruelty, the worst of the worst, where you only see these kinds of actions happening in war zones, where someone can be beheaded and their heads used to as a football, sent back to the families. So yes, we are seeing an increase in murders, but we are also seeing a new trend of savagery and barbarity in violence. The political debate is one which surrounds whether or not the tool is constitutional. And that is a debate which is a legitimate one. We don't in any way shy from it. And it is proceeding. The Attorney General has been very effective in working through the issues that are involved. But until there is a definitive ruling on the matter, the tool remains available, legitimately so, because there are emergencies for which the government must respond. And there's one element of the conversation which is always hidden in the public debate. What of the rights of the victims? Who speaks for the people who have been killed? What of their constitutional rights? Who defends those rights of the 1,300 or more Jamaicans that have been murdered in this country? If there are issues relating to it, we have said, okay, bring the arguments and we will make the adjustments. I think ultimately this is a question that the Jamaican people will have to answer. It's a question for the people. Should we not do the SOEs and allow the murder rate to escalate? Or should we move ahead with the SOEs, mindful and respectful, and doing everything possible to preserve the rights of all citizens? I think we know what the answer is.
The opposition is deeply concerned that the government has gone ahead with the state of emergency in 7 police divisions, even though the country is still waiting to hear the outcome of the appeal against the court's ruling in Everton Douglas versus the Minister of National Security. In that ruling, the Supreme Court clearly stated that the situation which led to the detention of Douglas et al. Did not qualify as an emergency or satisfy the requirements of Section 20, subsection 2 and 5 of the Constitution. So we are really astonished that the Prime Minister has dismissed the court's ruling as some sort of academic argument and is willing to proceed in a premature and presumptuous manner. The government is clearly out of ideas, like a one-trick pony. And the truth of the matter is that the state of emergency has not only proven to be unconstitutional in the way it has been used by the government as a routine crime-fighting tool, but it has also been ineffective. Because with all the 3 years or so of the use of the state of emergency, there was not a single year that the murder rate was brought down to the level of any year in the 2012 to 2015 during the previous PNP administration.
Again, there's legal points to be answered. I leave that to the Attorney General, but I consider the Bar Association comment from county of court as political and not legal. And government will never do anything illegal. Our government accepts the responsibility to protect the lives of homeless people who are victims of violence. And the level of violence, the brutality of it at this time justifies the extraordinary powers adopted under a state of public emergency.
We have taken into account the many concerns that have been raised about the detention powers, and when the regulations are tabled in the Parliament, you will see a difference in how they've been drafted. Issues have also been raised about the review of detained persons, and we have also made some changes in that regard, and there will be an automatic periodic review in addition to review by request of detainees. I think essentially those are the major changes, but they are substantial changes based on a monitoring of the issues that arose in the previous dispensation. The case that is before the court did not rule the state of emergency unconstitutional. Issues were raised about referencing to the Constitution. And I know that all courts, from my reading of the law and from my reading of judgments, understand that governments have to act. There is a day-to-day running of government that must take place, and each branch of government is tasked with a separate and distinct responsibility, but all are working for the greater good. All are working for the greater good. So insofar as the referencing issue that was raised in the case, though it did not require a legislative action, because all judges are required to judicially notice the provisions of the Interpretation Act, the Parliament has acted to correct that reference. Having listened to the reasons for recommendation and having satisfying myself as the principal legal advisor to the government that the facts came within the constitutional provision and the criteria set out in the Constitution, I'm of the view that if the government were formed by the party which is now in opposition, I don't know how they would reject the recommendation. I don't believe they would. But of course, governments have information that oppositions don't have. And so it's understandable that the debate will rage.